So today, we're gonna be testing the Yamabisi, which is the knockoff Yamaha that I bought on Temu for half the price of a name brand Yamaha. We're gonna put it through its paces and see if it can stand up to all the things that I would usually put a Yamaha through and more. So for the first test, I really wanna see, will it work as an e-brake for my truck? Come on, come on. It is keeping it from going any further back, but it's not pushing it up the ramp like I was hoping. Seems to be fine so far. Are you off the brakes?
Completely off.
You're completely off the brakes?
Yeah. Man, this thing's watertight. I'm gonna have no water in here.
Oh, it was working. It was working.
We need a second one.
Oh, oh no. I'm gonna say yes, it does work as an e-brake. It doesn't work quite well enough to get it up the ramp, but it is keeping it from going completely underwater. Is there any water in the truck yet?
No, I can open the door and let some in.
Don't do that, don't do that.
Are you ready to come back up?
Yeah.
Let's see if he'll start. There's water in my door. Dry's oh, it's not quite dry inside. My feet were dry though.
Yeah, there's a little water in the truck. That's all right, we had to clean it out anyway.
Oh man.
Uh-oh. Oh, we had good stuff back there too. Luckily, there's enough rust holes in the floorboards that appears to drain pretty well.
Well, that was a test on the Ranger too.
Yeah, it was.
Ranger's pretty good.
Heck yeah. That is awesome. So when I buy a new piece of equipment, you know, working on and around the water, I want it to be not only durable, reliable, but also versatile. When I buy one thing, it needs to do many different things. Clearly it works pretty well as an e-brake. We got a few more things that I would probably use it for anyway that we're gonna test. I just wanna be prepared for pretty much any unlikely scenario. I wanna have one piece of equipment that's gonna stand up to the test. Everybody knows that the Yamaha is kind of the pinnacle of reliability. This one's a fair amount cheaper, about half price. Is it worth it? Can we get the same amount of reliability, dependability, and versatility out of the knockoff Yamabisi from China off of Temu? We're gonna find out. So the very first test I did with the Yamabisi was actually to let it run for 24 hours straight. In order to run the engine for 24 hours, we need water, right? Because the water's how the engine gets cooled. And we're not just gonna run it on land with no water to see how long it blows up, because it wouldn't take long at all. Yep, that should be enough. Oh yeah, that should be just plenty. One of the issues that we have here where I'm at is that the water is tidal, which means the water comes up and then it goes down about every 6 hours. So my truck is not tidal. In the event that the tide goes out so far that the motor wouldn't have any water to run, so that we don't just fry the thing on the first test, I have a weight to the clip with this buoy with a weight, and if this thing runs out of water, it'll fall down to the bottom and pull the kill switch, killing the engine, at least in theory. My truck, on the other hand, I might be a little wet. We're gonna be using regular fuel. We got a full tank of fuel here. Give the primer bulb a couple squeezes. Look at that. Started on the third pull. It is smoking a little, but I think that's because it was laying on its side in the truck. On the correct side, tiller up. Oh. Ow. One thing I have noticed about the Yamabisi compared to the Yamaha is that the Yamabisi definitely needs a little bit more time to warm up. It doesn't like to run cold. I know no engine does, but a Yamaha, you can pull it and go, and it'll be fine. This motor definitely shakes and sputters, and you gotta sometimes yank it a couple times. It'll usually start on the first or second pull. In terms of pulling it and going, it takes a little longer sometimes. But she's going right now. It's probably gonna be all right. We'll get her warmed up and get her idling. Now we'll let her sit 24 hours. I also just realized I don't know how I'm gonna get home now. Not only am I gonna be curious to see if the engine is running in the morning, I'm also gonna be kind of curious to see if my truck is underwater, because the tide's in a weird spot where I can't really tell what it's gonna do. I can't really tell if it's going up, going down, or staying the same. So I guess we'll find out. And I know what you're thinking. it's not very good for motors to idle for a really long time, especially 24 hours unattended. I know the Yamaha could do it. I beat the crap out of some Yamahas, and we've piled some hours on them, idling for 24 hours straight, shoving boats way too big, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, well now we have another unique problem where I went in there to get something out before I left, and I locked the keys in the truck. Now we gotta get into the truck. Motor's still running. We did lose the audio when I came back the next morning, so that's why I'm telling you now. What ended up happening was the tide went out after probably 10 to 16 hours, but the tide went out and it wasn't sucking any water in to cool the engine, so it overheated and shut off. But it fired right back up and still pumps water. So 24-hour test passed.
I shouldn't have taken it off.
I know. This is an arguably more, I don't know, appropriate vehicle for this motor, but like I said, I want it to be versatile. It has to be a jack of all trades, even if it's a master of none. Kind of like myself.
I was gonna say.
Boats are always breaking down. Something we often have to do here at the marina is go and tow people home. Sometimes all we have is a skiff, so I want to make sure I have the appropriate engine that can tow the biggest boat I have, which is the Weibo. Can it do it? I don't know.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
As you can see, Weibo is extremely heavy, and you can barely move herself around sometimes. Wind's not helping me at all.
This is actually my first time running the Yamabisi. I kind of like it. She's a little shaky. You guys probably shaking too, but she's peppy. I like it.
Weibo is the biggest boat I own by far, and it weighs about 20,000 pounds, which is like 10 tons. It's also extremely windy. It's blown like 30 today. So if this little Yamabisi can pull this big boat through all this wind, which this boat is basically all windage, meaning all a giant sail, I will be thoroughly impressed. All right, we got the boat ready to get hooked up. I'm gonna shut Weibo off and see if we can tow her back. Here goes nothing. I do still have steering because it's not power steering in this boat, but other than that, we're dead in the water. All right, let's get the bridle on. You don't have to turn it around. Just tow it straight.
Oh, I'm not towing it back.
I mean, no, because I just don't want to have to like run into stuff.
Hey, don't scratch my motor.
Yeah.
It's about to hit. Oh. All right. I'm not gonna be able to spin the bow.
Well, we're gonna find out.
The wind's fighting me. Hold up.
I know, that's the point. We gotta see if it can do it in all conditions. Is that full tilt? Keep it pinned. The bridle's not working. I should have put the loop through.
Yeah, it's not really working. Oh, I see. It's not in the center.
Yeah. It's over the back of the motor.
What?
So the ropes, there you go.
That was part of the test.
Yeah.
All right, attempt 2. There we go. We're stationary.
Is that full throttle? Well, technically it is working. We're not going very fast, but it is working. I'm afraid that might pop and kill me, but we'll be
2
all right.
miles an hour. 3, 4. The Weibo with the Yamabisi. We're going about 4 miles an hour. If you're desperate, it'll work. I'm not sure for how long.
Keep her pinned, see if you can spin it around.
Spin it around?
Yeah, give it a shot. See if you can spin it that way. There you go. Oh, the wind has got the boat now. See if you can spin it around. Oh my gosh. I mean, it is kind of working. It's working.
It's sketchy in here, but it's working.
It is sketchy. That motor's running at 110% load right now.
I think it's pulling me backwards.
Yeah, I know. It's not good. We're gonna hit that pier. Oh no, we're getting really close. Oh my gosh. It doesn't look like it's that close, but we're pretty close to that pier. There it goes. Oh, we're back, baby. She's coming out. Take me home, Cap.
It's a little sketchy. The boat wants to sit sideways, and our rope is in the center of the bow of the boat. So it wants to pull a little crooked, and then the wind's fighting us too. But if you're in an emergency, it'll work. It won't be easy, but it'll work.
New camera boat's working out very nicely. We may need it. Oh my gosh, dude, that little motor is screaming. We got the tide behind us now.
It's faster with the Yamabisi. I think what's screwing me is that line not being centered.
I think what's screwing you is the fact that we're towing a 20,000 pound boat.
Hey, if you gotta do it, it'll work.
Exactly. Oh, she's an animal, dude. Can you untie that? I need that. That's my dock line.
All right, that'll be 300 bucks.
I have my towing insurance through Yamabisi.
I think that worked pretty well.
It did move it. That little motor sounded like it was going to explode. That thing was like on, I mean, as close as it can get to the limiter. It was on 110% load for about 10 minutes pulling this thing through the wind. I got to say, that's impressive. I am impressed. That thing didn't just like overheat and come apart. This next durability test brought to you guys by Factor. That's crazy. You just ripped the whole thing out of there.
I know, it had nothing to do with what we did.
I know. Well, I mean, it wasn't holding on by much.
I know it wasn't holding well. It hasn't held on by much for a while.
I'm gonna go grab a bolt and a washer and try to just like plug it for right now. When it comes to outboard motors, the motor itself is only half of the motor. The other half is the lower unit. And that's the thing on the bottom that makes the boat go forward. A common thing people do is hit everything but the lottery with their outboard. That includes crab pots, trees, logs, boards, boat ramps, kayakers. Logically, I think the next thing to test is the lower unit. So Factor here, they make really awesome dietitian, chef-prepared meals delivered right to your door anywhere you live in the US. They have hundreds of options to choose from. It's as easy as going online, selecting the meal plan that you want with the meals that you want delivered. It's about as easy as that, almost there. Factor meals are awesome because all it takes is 2 minutes in the microwave or 5 minutes under the cowling of your Yamabisi off limiter, and they're hot and ready to eat. So we have a couple obstacles set up out here. We have a tree, which is common that people hit.
Make sure you run over the line so it gets caught in the prop.
We also have a large board. By that I mean it's like an 8x8. Since personally I've never hit anything that mattered going slow, we're gonna give her the beans a little bit and really put her to the test. So one of the things I love about Factor the most is that they save me a lot of time. Because I have a pretty busy life. And I have a lot of important things to do. Clearly, like go to work and things like that. They make awesome meals that save me a lot of time where I don't have to go to the grocery store or anything like that because they get delivered right to my house on the day that I want them delivered. Problem is every time I hit the log, it hits it so hard it hits the motor back into lockdown. So we actually hit that one with the motor locked down, which is even better test in my opinion. I hit it so hard I cracked my spork. Factor has a ton of awesome options, including gourmet meals or stuff like this chicken and fajitas that's really good and very delicious and easy to eat. You can eat them anywhere, even when you're at work, like me. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50LUKE. Get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code 50LUKE at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. I can't believe this thing is still alive. That's insane. We have been beating the crap out of this thing, and it is okay. We'll check the lower unit. That was a absolute beating. I'm almost nervous. What the heck? It's honestly shocking. That is fine. I mean, we lost about a ½ inch of the skeg, but that was from hitting the boat ramp. I mean, it's a little beat up, but that's to be expected. But it ain't cracked off. It's not split. We didn't lose a prop blade or anything. Pretty impressed.
How come every time we go fish, we never catch anything?
It's because I'm always fishing with you, dude. You never catch anything. I catch all the fish.
Whatever. I want to go catching, not fishing.
Yeah, so do I. So you know one of the things I hate the most is when you get to your fishing spot and you realize you forgot an anchor. Luckily, the engineers at Yamabisi thought about that, because not only is this motor the pinnacle of performance and reliability, it also doubles as an anchor.
You know we had an anchor up here the whole time.
What?
How are we going to get back?
Whatever.
Not my motor.
Fish are biting, dude. That's the next 10 minutes of this video's problem. It's nice out here.
It is.
We should have brought beer.
Now you say that?
Well, you were supposed to remember the anchor.
There is an anchor.
Or, well, don't tell my wife.
What, they were fishing? Oh, I caught a leaf.
That's all you ever catch. All the fish have been like running for their lives. They're like, it's like Armageddon happening up here. I guess we should pull the anchor and change spots.
All right, fish ain't biting here.
Probably should have thought of that before we used our dual purpose anchor, but you know, whatever. All right, pulling the anchor may actually be harder than setting the anchor. Ooh, bubbles.
Whoa. Can it catch? I don't want to lean over.
This week's episode?
I don't want to lean over too far and flip the boat. Hold up. Probably not the.
We didn't think about this.
All right.
We spin it sideways.
Yeah, spin it sideways.
Can you get on the front of the motor? Like on the thing.
Well, I'm scared of leaning too far overboard and flipping the boat. Look, now we really need an anchor.
Our paddle's getting, we're gonna have to paddle even further.
Okay, hold up. Okay.
There we go. We just get the thing on the side. That's good enough. Look at that.
Look, she's peeing out of the wrong spot.
That's not bad. They even thought about a little anchor holder. It's pretty good. It's basically a windlass. Speaking of wind,
You know there was much easier ways to flush your
why do we pick the
outboard.
windiest days to do this stuff? It's always windy here. Oh no.
Gotta make sure we don't hit the pier and knock our anchor off.
What doubles is a boat bumper as well. I paid extra for the boat bumper feature. It works. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
3 for. Let's put it all the way back so we can get 2 people on the corner of it to lift it up. Don't scratch it now. I paid a lot of money for that anchor.
It's a bumper. We're there.
Perfect. Another good day fishing. Caught a big one. We got a 150 pounder here. It's a good day fishing.
What'd you catch it on?
Rattle trap.
Huh.
I think I'm gonna get it mounted. It's gonna go really nice in my basement.
Lindsay would love it.
She's gonna love it. I know
Yeah.
she will. Ooh, it's a heavy one.
I want you to trust that piece of wood.
Yeah, what's holding that on?
Just
1 bolt.
You've 1 bolt in the center.
I think it's fine. We used the Yamabisi as an anchor, which was a listed feature in the ad. But where I really spent the money on this video is I flew in an actual certified Yamabisi mechanic all the way from China. This is Riley's son, and he's gonna help me get this Yamabisi running again, hopefully, after it's already been at the bottom of the drink. So we haven't even opened it up, so let's take a look, see what the potential damage is under the cowling. We do have a little bit of mud in here and whatever else, but there's sand on the inside of the cowling. That's pretty good. Well, where do you start?
Well, do you want it to be actually good?
Well, yeah, I mean, we gotta make it to the bar before happy hour ends,
All
really.
right, go grab the garden hose.
All right.
And I want to go grab tools. Yamabisi adapter.
Got that on Temu too.
We're gonna drench it.
Also, I'll add that, I'm downwind of that, but I'll add that this is salt water, brackish water, so it's salt and fresh mixed, which is probably all the better.
I always say dirty marina water is better than dirty Marina Creek water.
Only mildly.
Now you let that sit in the sun at 350 degrees for 45 minutes.
We did already drain the fuel and the oil before we dumped it over so that, you know, we don't go to jail or anything like that.
This basically show everybody that we are thinking ahead. So we are going to run it out of gas and we're going to drain the oil out first because we just don't want all that going all over environments. All you gotta do is disconnect the gas line, fire it up, let it run.
Very fuel efficient and quiet.
All right, I think it's out of gas.
We sucked all the gas and oil out of it first.
Holds a quart, we took a quart out, so.
We got it all.
You got a flathead? Where's that flathead you had earlier?
I'll grab it. I got a hammer. Just try it, it'll work. This guy.
Can I get a real one?
Yeah. I mean, it's not totally full.
Yeah. See if any water got in there. Just a little bit. So next we should pull the spark plugs. I forgot we actually got to fix it because we got to go to the bar.
This thing would be no use if it can't do the most important thing to every commercial fisherman is to be able to take your skiff to the bar in the middle of the day.
If anyone's wondering, the spark plugs take the same size socket as the other outboard manufacturer, also starts with Y. We're not going to talk about them. But
This is the only outboard manufacturer, in my opinion. The only one worth buying.
I was talking about the company who copies these motors and tries selling them for twice as much.
Yamaha. Well, these look damp. Oh, break it off in there.
NGKR. Something about me tells me these are not real NGKs.
The font is a little off, but it's close.
Yeah. Pull her over.
All right, well, don't leave all this stuff on there. I'm gonna get wild with her.
That's where I store all my parts. All right. There's a little bit in there, but that'll knock the carbon off. If you guys are wondering, this is called pickling an outboard. Well, this is half of what you're supposed to do when you pickle an outboard.
Do you spray anything in there?
No. I mean, when you turn it over and the oil starts, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Because we're going to burn the water out of there.
Should we undo the filter housing?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the mechanic here, man? I flew you all the way from China for this?
Well, I'm a Yamabisi mechanic. You only get half the work done.
You got your engineering degree at community college?
Yeah, I would say that's full of water. Your best,
Definitely full of water.
Your best bet is to loosen that and grab a big pair of channel locks to make sure you don't snap it, or else we got to put a connector in between.
No, we'd have to bypass the filter.
That's what I said, put a connector between. Does he not hear me? A little bit of water in there, but a little bit of water never hurt nobody. It smells like oil. Whoa!
How much is it supposed to take?
Probably not that much. Probably way less than I put in there.
It's definitely water.
That's a new biofuel.
Yeah, let's put that back on, squeeze the bulb a little bit.
Yeah, then dump it again.
Okay. Yeah, it probably shouldn't be all the way up the stick.
No, I told you it doesn't take this much oil. I was putting that much in there that way I could suck some out. It's so easy to overfill these little guys.
There's some water coming out of the carburetor too, I guess, but I guess that's to be expected. It's not as cloudy as it was a minute ago.
Like now we're putting cold oil in it, it's gonna take forever to suck out. See, I told you we should put the used oil back in there because this stuff's so clean I can't read the stick. Okay, now it's a little underfilled.
There's sand in the carburetor screw.
You say there is?
Yeah.
How does sand get in the carburetor?
I have no idea, that's weird.
Let me check the oil one more time. Now that we care about this thing, we're done with the torture test. We're not abusing this thing no more.
Yeah. All right, moment of truth, right? Holy crap! That's insane! Well, short-lived, but that's incredible. Another one idle.
Rev it, high as will go.
I'm trying to suck all this crap out of the jet. It actually started. That's amazing. I didn't think we'd make it that far.
First pull too.
Why is it running like crap though?
Because I want to do a quick 5-minute carburetor rebuild.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Kill the water?
Kill the water, I'll pull the carb off. It's probably just gotta go right through the pilot jet. For all the people that keep commenting, saying this is a clone of a Tohatsu, I've been to the Yamabisi factory. This is in fact a clone of a Yamaha. We do make 2 models. One is a clone of a Yamaha, the other is a clone of a Yamabisi.
People do keep saying that this is a Tohatsu clone. And they'd be right.
Is that what I
in
said,
some
Tohatsu?
ways? Yeah. Because there's one that's labeled Yamabisi that says 9.8 that is a clone of a Tohatsu. This one that says 9.9 is the clone of a Yamaha.
You can tell the intake manifolds. This is the Yamaha intake manifold. Tohatsu one is more of a box. And that's a Yamaha fuel filter. This is a Yamaha carb setup, Yamaha's ignition system.
You mean Yamabisi?
Yamabisi, my bad. Yamaha stole our design.
You didn't need that. Yamabisi mechanics.
Yeah, it's what
Top tier.
It's what we call flat rate.
No piecework around here. If you do actually sink your motor, you should do what's called pickling it as soon as you can, where you basically spray the whole thing down with fresh water and then drain the oil out of it and then pull the spark plugs, turn it over, spray all the water out of the cylinders, and then I usually spray like WD-40 or something in there, pull it over a few more times just to displace the water so the rings don't lock up, and then go through the fuel system, flush that, put oil in it, run it, drain the milky oil, put new oil in it. You may have to do it a couple times if it's still milky. Sometimes you have to take carburetor apart. I'm not unfamiliar with the situation.
I was just gonna say,
I've sunk plenty of boats.
Sounds like you've sunk plenty of motors.
I have sunk plenty of motors. Outboards and diesel, inboards and crab boats alike. If you're not sinking your engine, you ain't no crabber.
I don't typically wear a glove, actually I do, but gasoline I definitely wear gloves because you just cannot get that smell off your hands.
I can't even smell it.
We'll have a hot date later tonight.
You're right.
Can you at least agree with me for the camera?
What, with the cameraman?
Yeah, the camera.
Okay, yeah, he's got a hot date.
Yeah, there we go. I got a hot date. There, you put that gasket back on there. Typically want to do this in a clean environment with a screwdriver that's not rounded. They call it a flathead, not a round head.
I'm just happy we have more than bilge tools.
How many people out there do you think have actually cleaned a carburetor on a Yamabisi? I feel like anyone that's had these things, just as soon as they stop running, you just buy another one.
See, I always thought the same thing. I was like, they wouldn't last long enough to have to clean the carburetor. But I've had this thing for 6 months and I've been using it all through the winter.
Workable, if you're watching this, we love your 2+2. Please send us some. Trying to get some sponsorships.
Why don't they just call it 4?
Because they haven't figured out what it equals yet. All right, that's not really how you clean a carburetor, but it's how we're cleaning it today.
What do you think would have been in there? Water?
Water or sand or whatever. There we go, she's clean now. She's gonna run better than ever. She might be a 15 horsepower by the time we're done. Well, next episode, we're gonna see if this thing can run without enough oil in there.
That might be in 10 minutes. H-U-A-Y-A, that's who makes the carburetor.
Hui? Hui?
You designed it.
I didn't design it.
This guy, I think he's a fraud.
I told you at Yamabisi school, all I did is put me on the assembly line for a week. So
I don't remember which one goes where though.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
I did learn that when I assembled them, didn't I?
I thought you learned that child labor was cheaper.
I did learn that too. How to go to your family reunion in some way.
Tell him I said hi?
Yeah. See how good these threads are. See if I can send it. All right, she may or may not run better now. We just won't be able to idle the way to the bar, which is very familiar. Are you ready? What the heck? Oh man, the carburetor's probably empty. Let me squeeze this. And make sure it sits right under that.
Yep. You gotta get your water fuel mixture right.
50 to 1 water to fuel. Stan's sketchy. How did it run better before?
You touched it.
Squeeze
Let me
this.
see this thing. I
Yeah,
got the magic touch. He's got nothing now.
Hold up. I got the magic juice. She don't want to start on that. She ain't never going to start. It stumbled a little bit in the beginning.
Ran fine till you touched it.
Maybe if I pull it again.
That'll fix it.
What'd you break?
I didn't break anything.
Just keep pulling it till your arms hurt.
My arm's already hurt.
Where'd we get all this pressure from?
The pump must have kicked on.
It needed that extra water pressure.
Don't touch it. You want to take it to the bar? To the bar.
go with? Apparently this is an expensive knife. I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit bad. Yeah, it is. I should have brought 2 drinks so we could build twice as fast. Oh, what were you thinking? I was only thinking of myself and 1 drink, that's about it.
We made it to the local watering hole. I know because some of you will be concerned, we did run it wide open the entire way. You can tell by the alarming amount of water that's in the bottom. And we no longer have a drain plug to pull when we're on the plane because that fell out. I don't know why.
And for the one guy, I think he might be Luke's biggest fan that comes with every video, we do have life jackets.
Yeah,
His name's like Faux Honker.
Bunkers out and all, dude.
Tied up real tight to the tide blowers down.
Yamabisi, great success.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
You should buy yourself one.
Genuinely. We sank it. We freaking hit everything with it. Everything I could think to kind of try to break it. And honestly, it's been pretty good. Got us to the bar. Yeah. Good engine. I like it. We made it.
Try to look at the camera.
Oh, look at the camera. That's weird.